No. Well, welcome everyone to Cisco Canada's virtual kitchen, plant-based and vegan show with Amy Symington. Did I say that right? Symington?
Symington. I like
Symington.
New version.
I screwed it up just to get you to say. Anyways, welcome. We have an amazing show lined up. Amy's going to cook amazing plant-based, vegan/vegan plant-based. We'll figure that out today. But Amy, do you want to roll the intro for us?
I would love to. Thank you so much for joining me. Welcome to my humble kitchen.
Do you want us to run the intro? Do you want to cue it up?
Yeah.
It's a big one. It's got a picture of you on it.
Let's cue the intro.
Here we go.
Amazing. That was so great.
Thank you so
much. Yeah, that was really good. I don't know. I think I was on the camera there. I was dancing a little bit. Anywho, thank you so much for having me. Welcome to the Plant-Based Show. So I'm Chef Amy Symington, culinary specialist for Humane Society International Canada. Just really happy to be here. Talk a little bit about plant-based cuisine and how to get more plant-based options on your menu.
You know what? I'm so excited, Amy, and thank you again for doing the show today and the series that we're going to have moving forward with you. I'm just pumped. I have so many questions because I'm a fan of plant-based and vegan food for many reasons. Health for sure, but I love how pretty and how beautiful plant-based and vegan food is.
100%, and that's one of the draws, right? We do eat with our eyes first, and thankfully, plant-based cuisine focuses on fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, legumes, whole grains, and good quality plant-based protein. So you can't really go wrong, right? It's all gonna look beautiful.
Yes, and you know what? I always say Instagram worthy big time.
100%. That's the one way to get people to eat more plant-based stuff is to make it obviously tasty. It's got to taste good, but it also has to look beautiful as well.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Alrighty, I'm gonna move over. I'm gonna let you steal the show.
Okay, amazing.
And today we're gonna be looking at swell catch foods. So we're gonna have some of that product. We're gonna just you run it. You know what you're doing. You're a pro.
Amazing. Okay, cool. So again, thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to talk a little bit about plant-based cuisine, so kind of plant-based 101. But first and foremost, I want to talk a little bit about the Forward Food Program, which is what I'm a part of with Humane Society International, and kind of how we got together today, Jay.
Yes.
So the Forward Food Program is an organization that provides support to large food operations across Canada, trying to just get more plant-based, cram more plant-based goods onto people's menus. So we provide things like workshops, culinary demonstrations, educational seminars, menu and recipe development, you name it, we do it. And the best part about it is our programming is all free. So we're gonna hook you up with the recipes from today, which are actually all from my cookbook, the Long Table Cookbook, Plant-Based Recipes for Optimal Health. But it will take you to the Humane Society International Canada website, so you can check out some more of the work that we do. It's incredible. It's really incredible. And there's my cookbook. Voila! And I should say the cookbook, large quantity servings. So you can, if you're in the industry, it's great because you can make it at work. And all of the author proceeds go to support the social, emotional, and nutritional programming that I do at a not-for-profit cancer organization here in Toronto called Gilda's Club Greater Toronto. Check it out. Cool. So what we're gonna do next? What we're gonna do first is a winter coleslaw with an orange vinaigrette dressing. Bam!
Yeah, you had to rub the winter in, eh? You had to rub that winter in more.
Well, yeah, for sure. And I mean, we're using all winter-focused vegetables. So that's another thing too that we're being cognizant of is cost, because sometimes plant-based or vegan food can be synonymous with expensive, and it absolutely does not have to be. We want to be focusing on, seasonal, whole foods, and simple plant-based ingredients. We're not using anything crazy. I do have an option here for a plant-based product, and you're welcome to purchase those, but you can also just make everything using whole ingredients. And things like cabbage, for example, beans, they're all dirt cheap, right? It's all very, very, very affordable, which is what we want to do. And in this kind of day and age, we're looking at a lot of like takeout or grab and go stuff. And so I'm going to show you some examples of things that we can, you can make that are just easy to eat on the go.
Cool.
Okay, so the coleslaw, we'll start with it first.
Awesome.
Cabbage, check. Some seasonal veggies, check. We've got red onions, beets, carrots. We do have some greenhouse peppers. That would probably be the most expensive ingredient there, but you can omit that. And then seasonal pears. And then I'm going to show you how to do the orange vinaigrette dressing. So basically, you just add all the ingredients together.
Amy, you could use like a green cabbage, right?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Whatever you happen to have on hand. The great thing about this is just you can clean out your fridge essentially. If you have cabbage, great. Red, green. If you have kale, great. Use that. Whatever you happen to have. Coleslaw is kind of you can throw every really stodgy vegetable in there.
We used to have a dressing that was called we still have it at Cisco. It's a kusabi dressing, so it's a spicy dressing that has wasabi in it. We used to do spicy coleslaw.
That will keep you warm in the winter for sure.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will.
Okay, cool. So there we got the pears. And then in terms of toppings, I just have some sprouts, tossing those on. And again, just exactly what you were saying, Jay, about how everything's bright and beautiful. It doesn't have to be boring because it's plant-based, for sure not. A little bit of parsley on top.
It's so funny because a lot of people are like, well, so why, right? Well, as we know, millennials and Gen Z love to take pictures of food, and that helps get your brand out there quicker as well.
So true. So true. Yep. You have to make it Instagram worthy for sure. Okay, we're going to work on the orange vinaigrette dressing next. So I've got 1 orange zested in juice. So we'll plop that in. Then I have some extra virgin olive oil, whatever oil you happen to have on hand, use that. Get that in there. We've got some apple cider vinegar. That in there. And then I have some Dijon mustard, just your basic vinaigrette. And coleslaws generally are creamy. And if you did want to make a creamy dressing, you could use like a vegan mayo, or you could puree some tofu, or use, an unsweetened soy milk or almond milk, just to give it that creaminess. But we're going to do a Dijon one today. And then a little bit of maple syrup.
So cool.
Sweetness to balance. Amazing. Okay. And then and you can make this ahead of time. As long as you don't put garlic in it, obviously it can stay in the fridge for longer, right? And then you just shake up. And voila. And then just pour as needed.
Nice.
Well, and then I've got some toasted hazelnuts here. Nuts, again, a great source of plant-based protein. When we're talking about protein, oftentimes, people are like, oh, you're plant-based or you're vegan. Where do you get your protein? It's very easy. We're talking things like nuts, seeds, legumes, and then whole grains even. So some complete proteins, which means they contain all 9 essential amino acids, are things like tofu, edamame, miso, hemp seeds, chia seeds, even things like quinoa. Quinoa, those are all plant-based, whole complete proteins that you can consume. So it's super easy. For example, I'm going to show you a couple of the plant-based products from Swell Catch, and the crab cakes that are just in my pan here. 2 of them is 15 grams of protein. And just in terms of, it's really high. It's really high. And it's pea protein based. And just to give you kind of an idea, so like your average man would need about 60 grams of protein per day. And that's 15 in one serving. So it's super easy to get protein. So don't worry. You're not going to be protein deficient. I've been vegan for, I don't know, 15 years now, and I'm doing okay.
I was gonna say that, like, I saw some shows, on Netflix. I hate to say it, but I love watching the vegan and plant-based shows on there. But there's doctors on there that say that they've never come across someone that's a vegan or plant-based diets that have been protein efficient. So
yeah. We're not filling up the hospitals with protein deficiency. We're good.
No.
So I just sprinkled on some of the hazelnuts.
Okay, let's see.
A great source of protein.
Hazelnuts, right?
Yeah, but you can use whatever you happen to have on hand. Again, hazelnuts may be a little bit more pricey, but you could use sunflower seeds. Or again, if your establishment doesn't use nuts, definitely focus on the seeds. So sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, hemp seeds, chia seeds. So that's it, the bam. And I'm going to show you kind of like a way to use the coleslaw other than just straight up. So this is a nice side, obviously. But if we wanted to, again, up the protein, if that's something that we're concerned about, we'll just get a little bit and put it on the plate.
You know, it's interesting. We have stats here today, and there's statistics showing, and I believe this. Look at Paul McCartney. I always use Paul McCartney. That your chances of increasing, you can live longer if you eat mostly plant-based foods. Like, studies are showing this.
Yeah. So here's the PhD nerd in me in terms of nutritional science. So longevity has been shown. We live longer. Plant-based foods contain high levels of fiber, antioxidants. They're just, they've been shown to help reduce the risk of chronic diseases like type 2 diabetes, cancer, heart disease, obesity, all of the major diseases. And so, just get more plants into you, basically. Okay. And this
very cool, Amy.
And it doesn't have to be boring and doesn't have to be tasteless. Like, it's super, like, check that out.
Like, okay. Just wait a second. I gotta look at that, folks. You can take a picture of that right now. Move it up closer, Amy. Closer. That's a picture right there.
Beautiful. Yeah.
And those are crab cakes.
And they're crab cakes from Swell Catch, but you, of course, could make your own using things like artichokes, carrots, fennel even would be really nice, and then just making them yourself if you have those on hand. But also there's all sorts of great plant-based products out there that you can use too that are tasty. These are actually super, super tasty. Okay, so that's it. We're gonna head to commercial, I think, for a few minutes, and then I'll come back. And when we come back, I'm going to show you how to make my lentil walnut burrito from the Long Table Cookbook.
Lentil walnut burrito. Did I miss one?
No.
Lentil walnut. All right, we'll be right back, folks.
Fresh food and fresh ideas are at the heart of food and service. Working with the greatest team of supplier partners, Sysco delivers the big brands you expect, the Sysco brands you'll be delighted by, and the specialty items that will set you apart. Sysco also goes to great lengths to ensure that our suppliers and our state-of-the-art distribution warehouses maintain the highest safety standards, often above and beyond government regulations. With Sysco, quality is assured from fresh to finish. Creating memories with food starts with great ingredients. Sysco's brand family includes standout, authentic products such as Orizio's Italian staples, Butcher's Block Prime cuts, Sysco natural organic produce with the freshest field favorites, and more. Our brands are produced by partners who share our love for high-quality food products and our core values of integrity, excellence, teamwork, responsibility, and inclusiveness. Our assortment is always expanding. Find what you need today. The options are endless with Sysco. Visit sysco.ca to learn more.
Hello and welcome back. That was great. Able to do a little swap here.
Awesome.
So next up, as promised, we're going to be making the lentil walnut mixture that goes into the burrito. So again, it's in the Long Table Cookbook, so check that out. Super, super easy to make these. Also a really great alternative to ground beef. So you can use this in these tacos or these burritos, but you can also use this in things like shepherd's pie, anywhere that ground beef is used. And again, if you're not able to use the walnuts because of your operation, which happens quite often, you can omit them, or you can add things like crumbled tempeh or sauteed mushrooms if you want to do that, or you could just use straight up lentils, whatever you like. And the key here is to making sure that you're seasoning, right? You're using lots of herbs and spices, acids, garlic, ginger to give it kind of an oomph of flavor without having to use a ton of salt, sugar, or unhealthy fats.
Now, can you cook these before?
Yes, 100%. Yeah. Okay. And then, you could actually even freeze them if you don't put any like coleslaw in it ahead of time. But the meat itself, you can definitely freeze ahead of time for sure. And then just use as needed.
So Amy, before we get into this dish, can we talk a little bit about your cookbook? I
would love to. I thought you would never ask. Yes, there it is. Bam. So the Long Table Cookbook. It's based on the work that I do at Gilda's Club Greater Toronto. We pre-pandemic used to make these huge meals, myself and a team of volunteers, and we would all sit down with the members from Gilda's Club who have been touched by cancer in some sort of way, sit down and eat all together at long tables. And it's obviously nutritionally supportive, but also socially and emotionally supportive as well.
So cool. It's so cool. And what we've done, folks, is we put a QR code on there. That's not what it looks like, but that's the QR code. We put it on there, and you can actually take the QR code and it actually sends you to the recipes of what Amy's making today. So we did that for you. But you can get this anywhere now on Amazon. I went to Amazon. I found it really easy. And let's please buy these cookbooks. This is perfect timing. And we will get back to Long Table soon. I know we will.
Yeah, for sure. And there's other ways you can do it too. Like send out, the recipes ahead of time, make it together. You can Zoom at your long table. There's ways.
Virtual long table it, right?
One of my favorite things is being a porch fairy. So making a large amount of something and then dropping it off at people's homes. It just lifts people's moods and spirits during times that, we're not together. So it's super nice, but thank you for that plug. And the QR code will take you to the Friends of HSI's website, so you can check out some more of our work that we do at Humane Society International.
So cool.
Canada.
So cool. All right.
Cool.
Let's get into this dish.
Let's do it. Okay. So I've had my pan heating up here, which is great. You see I've had the lentils. I've got walnuts. Again, you can use crumbled tofu. You could use crumbled tempeh. You could use mushrooms. Lentils are high in protein as it is. This dish is very high in protein. Okay, so heated pan. We're going to add our oil. Once the oil is heated, we're going to add our onion and saute that out until translucent. And nice. You can use whatever onions. You don't have to use red. I find the red's nice because it adds a little bit of color. Mm-hmm. It also contains something called anthocyanins, which are a powerful antioxidant, which is great to add to your daily diet.
I love the fact that there's a study out in 2017 that shows that you can reduce death by 7% by eating this stuff. This is incredible. Like, why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah, it's super. And again, it doesn't have to be boring. Like my whole mantra is like, eating well, that's all well and good. You can know everything there is to know about nutrition, and nobody does, but say you do. If you can't get the food into people's faces, it's not going to make a difference in terms of people's overall health. So it has to be good in order for people to eat it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's so cool.
Okay, plopping in the garlic there.
Well done. I love this stuff. Like, here's the thing too, I think for restaurateurs and chefs out there, I really think plant-based foods, and I know they're like, we see so many creations, and we see today from Swell Catch, all these amazing creations, but I think it's all opening up new flavors for us to try that we never had before.
I can't agree with you more. So I grew up on a beef and dairy farm.
You know what's so funny? So Ethan Brown, the owner of Beyond Meat that created really this plant-based movement.
Yeah.
He also grew up on a dairy farm, just so you know.
There you go. So I grew up with, meat, potatoes, a little bit of vegetable. And when I began, eating more vegetarian and then transitioned to a full vegan diet, my eyes were just opened to so many new flavors and cuisines. So be open-minded, be adventurous, try new cuisines, try that weird, daikon in your local grocery store. Just get more plants into you as much as possible.
I love the fact that athletes are moving over to plant-based diets because they can recoup faster.
It's so true. Yeah, they've shown that recovery time increases when you're consuming more plants. Definitely.
And like Mike Tyson, Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? All these huge people in sports are turning to plant-based. Like it's like, oh my God.
Yeah, bodybuilders. There was a few years ago.
Strongest man in the world is a vegan.
Yes, that's what I was going to go
plant-based.
with.
Yes.
Like, you can build muscles, big bulging muscles on a plant-based diet, and then of course improve your recovery time. So it's a win-win-win-win situation. So I've just plopped in the tomato paste there, and then I'm going to put in what I like to refer to in my house as flavor country. So we've got some cumin, some oregano. You can use chili powder. This one I'm using.
Is that all fancy dancy beside each other? Look at that. That's so
cool.
You fancied it up.
And some paprika. So then this is, again, so we plop that in. Toast out those spices. Again, with plant-based cuisine, you really want to make sure that you're adding an oomph of flavor. So things like spices, herbs, garlic, ginger, acids like vinegars, lemon juice, whatever you happen to have on hand. Okay.
What about salt? Did you say salt?
Ask and you shall receive. So we've got some black pepper, some salt, and a little bit of cayenne that I'm putting in as well. Plop, and then a little bit of, we'll hold off on the red wine.
What is that? Is that red wine?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I'm going to put in the lentils now.
Is that cooking red wine?
Yeah. A bottle behind the nose.
You never know.
You never know.
I've seen cooking red wine disappear in kitchens before.
Most definitely. You got a little for the pot, a little for the cook.
Yeah. This is so cool.
So we're just cooking out the spices and the tomato paste. Of course, you want to get that tinniness out of it. And, go ahead.
No, so I was just going to say we've put swellcatchfoods.com up on the site on this screen there. Check it out. This is incredible products, and I'm just blown away that we're seeing plant-based come into different areas.
It's taking over the world.
Well, there's a company, and I apologize, I can't remember the name of it, but I saw it in Victoria a couple of years ago. They're doing sushi, like they're recreating sushi now without using seafood. It's incredible.
My God, there's so many, and there's so many seafood products out there in terms of like chicken, cheese, beef, like you name it, there is a product out there, and they're just getting better and better, literally by the day. Yeah,
they know that, and everyone's like, oh no, there's a whole bunch of weird stuff in it. They're reducing those weird chemicals.
Yes.
They're disappearing, or they know people don't want those.
Totally. I'm a huge advocate for whole foods as much as possible, but using plant-based products once in a while is totally, it's more than okay. Yeah. But I do like to show you how you're able to make the meat, the substitute, but then also having that other option as well, like the crab cakes from Swell. Or I'm going to show you how to use I also have their fishless fillets here too that I'm going to throw into one of the burritos or tacos. So there's
I can't wait.
Endless options. Okay, so we've got this. This is looking good. I'm going to turn the heat off. I've added the walnuts. They're toasted and chopped. And now I'm going to stir in the red wine vinegar.
I love the fact, Amy, you're using cast iron.
Always. I'm old school at heart for sure. Also, too, I should say, if you are vegan or vegetarian, another thing people often ask about is iron and iron intake. So lentils, very high in iron. Also, so are cast iron pans. So you do get some of the iron that comes from the cast iron pan. So that's always
I've heard that before.
yeah. So that's what we have there. So that's good. Bam. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring in I have a mango avocado salsa that I want to make for you.
Mango avocado salsa.
Yeah. So many wordy names. I know. Okay.
I think it's so cool. I think it's so cool.
Okay. So we've got some diced mango here, about a cup, and then I have a little bit of minced red onion. Of course, we need an avocado. So we've got that there. And we'll just dice this guy. I always say, and then you cut it, you slice it, and then you hope and pray, and then bam! Thankfully, it's good. And then we're gonna
look at that.
Oops.
You know you're a chef when you do that to an avocado.
Yeah. Or you're a vegan chef.
Yeah. Touche.
I've cut many avocado in my day.
I was gonna say it doesn't show at all, Amy. It doesn't show at all.
I was on an interview with or a meeting with my supervisor, and I was eating, and so he's always curious what I'm eating because I'm a chef. And he's like, "What are you eating?" And I literally was eating avocado on toast with sprouts.
Oh,
like, you are so stereotypically vegan.
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
Okay, and then we'll put the other side in there too.
I'm a huge fan of avocado on bagels.
I love it. I love it on everything. Avocado is so great. But again, if this is, you can also make like a sauce if you want to drizzle it over your tacos using avocado. So that actually will expand. You can use less avocado and get more out of it if you're wanting to cut costs. So just cool. Putting in a jar and pureeing avocado, lime juice, cilantro, oil, salt. That will extend your avocado. Okay, so we're going to mix that up. Cool. And then I'm going to add, speaking of flavor country and limes and citrus, we're going to add a little bit of this guy. So this has been sitting at room temperature. So we're going to squeeze a little bit of lime juice into here. Actually, I'm going to put some zest in first. I always like to save the zest. The zest has the majority of the punch in terms of flavor. And if you're not going to use, if you're not going to use the zest, then in a recipe, if it doesn't call for zest, I do it anyways, and then I put it in the freezer, and you can put it into soup, stews, muffins, cakes, cookies, all that sort of stuff. It gives it again an oomph of flavor.
So, Amy, this is the stuff that you do for restaurants with Forward Food.
Yes, exactly. So we do trainings. We do plant-based trainings. So chefs will come on if they're wanting to include more plant-based options on their menu, and I'll just do some demos. We talk a little bit about the benefits of eating plant-based. So obviously the health, as well as the environmental. Oftentimes sustainability teams will reach out to us because they really want more plant-based options because it's more sustainable. So just looking for tips and tricks and substitutions and, kind of like plant-based 101 is what we do. And then if they need any sort of help with their menus or recipes, we're there to support them.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. It's a sweet gig. It's a really sweet gig. And then I'm going to add a jalapeno in. So however spicy you like it, you can leave the seeds in.
We'll say use gloves if you need to.
Yeah.
I did that to my kids once. Their hands were so bad. It's
a story they will remember forever.
Yeah, I forgot the jalapeno cutting night.
Remember that time Dad almost...
Not a good idea. Not a good idea.
Okay, cool. I will wash my hands after this. Don't worry. Okay, and we're mincing. Plop that in. And then a little bit of garlic as well. If you're making this ahead of time, I would leave the garlic out or use a garlic powder. Again, we don't want to make anybody sick. So we'll microplane that in.
Very cool.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite recipes to make. It's very straightforward, easy to use, or easy to make, easy to assemble. and super flavorful. Okay, cool. We got that there, and a little pinch of salt, obviously. And mix it up. And then we will assemble. I wish you guys were here to try these.
Oh, I know. I get that all the time.
I'm so sad.
I get that all the time.
You'll just have to make them at home yourself.
Yeah, I know. I've taken a few ideas after. I think we're probably 200-300 shows now. All these little ideas, just taking them and going, oh, what else can we do, right?
Cool. Okay. So we've got our shell for our burrito. We're going to fill it up with the lentil walnut mixture. So good. Oh my gosh. Steam coming off. This is one of my favorites. I think I make it weekly.
Weekly? Seriously?
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. I'm not meaning to toot my own horn, but this recipe was actually was developed by a student of mine. So the Long Table Cookbook has a lot of my recipes, but then a lot of my students have contributed recipes. So this one in particular was actually by two students of mine, Bronwyn and Anne, and they nailed it. It's one of my faves.
Nice.
Okay. A little bit of that. Obviously some cilantro. And then, bam, the coleslaw makes another appearance.
You can use that in the, okay.
Yeah, totally.
Nice.
Right? Check that out.
See, I think people that love this love burritos like this. I really do.
Yeah. So yummy. There you go. And then we roll it.
Okay, let's see Chef rolling skills.
No pressure. Okay.
For people that are going to listen to this on Spotify or on iTunes, because we also have our SVK network up on our podcast channel, Amy right now is attempting to roll a burrito.
Here I
She's
go.
she's doing a really good job. I have to give you credit for
I
that.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Okay,
Yeah.
so there you go.
That looks great.
Perfectly rolled.
It's very good.
And then of course we gotta cut it in half.
Oh, and then she goes and cuts it. No.
Yeah. Check that out.
Look at that.
Like that. Hello,
Man,
hello.
It's beautiful.
So yummy. Oh my gosh. Okay.
So when you look at a restaurant right now and you look at like cost, I really think the profit on these kind of dishes is huge.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Most definitely. There's so many ways, so many great ways to substitute plant-based ingredients and save money. So as I said, beans, so lentils, chickpeas, black beans, pinto beans, all of the beans and legumes are cheap, especially if you buy them dry.
Yeah.
If you buy them dry, make sure you're soaking them. You can soak them with baking soda to help with digestion of the carbohydrates.
Serious? Baking soda?
Yeah, a little bit of baking soda. Soak them with baking soda and cook them with baking soda. Not so much that you taste the baking soda. Yeah, so that's a good tip. But it all helps to save costs. And then, of course, you're focusing on local seasonal stuff like the cabbage I had, for example. Okay,
Very cool.
And then I've got a special treat for you. Another way to use the coleslaw, but also use the plant-based fishless fillets. Before I do that, I'm going to bring out one of them right now.
And you can see those fishless fillets,
Yeah,
fishless fillets at slowcatchfoods.com.
10 times fast.
No, not today. Not today. No.
So there they are. Those are the boxes. They're great. It's just one example of many, many, many different plant-based products. So then we're just going to slice it.
This is plant-based right here.
Yes.
You got to bring that closer after you cut it. You got to bring that up to the camera. Look at this.
Sure. I'll turn it on the side.
There's no way people would know.
No. Honestly, this is very reminiscent of just like your basic white fish, right?
That's insane. Well done.
Yeah, I also enjoy squirting a little bit of lime on top too. That adds a little info flavor. You could also add some seasoning to it before you pan fry it. Little chipotle seed, whatever you want that dish to taste like. Okay.
Amy, can you taste one live right now?
Oh, for sure, no pressure.
I make all the chefs eat it because I can't. Yeah. Yeah,
the texture is so bang on, which is half the battle, right? Half the battle. Got that nice fishiness. One way also to add a fishiness to your like chowders and soups. For example, there's a artichoke chowder, oyster mushroom chowder in the cookbook, and I use dulse flakes. Dulse flakes is another way to get a fishy flavor without actually using fish. Okay, bring this in here. So we've got our corn tortillas, and then fish tacos are all the rage, right? So,
and this is good, healthy for you.
Yeah, 100%. This, yeah, for sure. We are also talking about ingredients, and I generally like to use whole food ingredients as much as possible. Mm-hmm. But products like this obviously are great for convenience and for ease. I mean, you're not gonna get your own. You're not gonna get your own extruder out and make the.
Well, no, I think even for QSR restaurants, like restaurants that are fast food and stuff like that, having options like this.
Totally, for sure.
Brilliant. You gotta have it nowadays. I don't know how you cannot have a plant-based or vegan dish on a menu nowadays.
Yeah, most definitely. And you may as well, if you're making it vegetarian, you may as well just make it vegan because there's so many options out there.
And they're great.
And they're so tasty. As I said, like before I was all about, it's hard to give up the cheese, but honestly, it's not now. There's so many amazing options out there.
Oh yeah, the cheese is getting incredibly good.
Yeah, it's really great. And you can make your own, obviously, too, using things like cashew, nutritional yeast, miso. There's so many recipes out there. Also, too, I should mention, we have a recipe packet that's available on the HSI Canada website, the Friends of HSI Canada website, that has all sorts of inspirational plant-based recipes there for you to check out and try.
Yeah, it's friends of hsi.ca, I'm assuming.
Yes.
We have it up on the screen there, and then that is, if you click, you'll find these great recipes.
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
Look at that plug, eh, Amy? I'm getting used to this. I'm getting used to this stuff. 300 shows later, I kind of am getting the hang of it.
Okay. You're doing great.
Thanks, Amy. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, and then obviously some cilantro. And then if you wanted to throw on some hot sauce or, jalapenos, whatever you want to do.
I'm blown away by this product.
Yeah, it's great. And then, of course, you've got the lime. You've got to serve it with a lime, right? And then it would just be a little squirt over top. But I'm going to hold that up closer so you can have a gander.
Nice stuff. That's a nice plate, by the way.
Thank you. It's my taco plate. I love it. It's the perfect one for tacos. Okay, so there you have it. There you have it, folks.
There you go.
3 easy recipes or 3 easy versions of how to use the coleslaw in your cooking. Beautiful
stuff, Amy. Look at that. Yeah. All Instagram worthy. Please take a picture of all those dishes and send them to me, Amy. We'll put it up on our Instagram.
Sure, yeah, I can definitely.
We'll put it up on our Instagram stories page, folks. Please, Amy, put what they are. So I'm not going to make them up myself, the names. Yeah. Please send them to me and we'll put them up on our Instagram stories board tonight. So in case you missed today's show or you want to see the pictures up close, we'll put those up for you on our Instagram page. So awesome stuff, Amy. Awesome stuff.
Thank you so much for having me. And yeah, take very good care. We'll see you next month, right?
Yeah, we'll be back next month with Amy. She's going to cook some more awesome dishes using plant-based and vegan products that we carry here at Cisco. And also follow and subscribe to the SVK channel on Cisco Canada's YouTube channels, Facebook channel, Instagram. We're all over. And we're the only food service live weekly show in the industry right now that is literally have more shows than you can even dream of. You could binge watch Galore Amy as much as you want. No, I don't know. Exactly. I don't know if I can listen to myself that much. But please do. And then also, if you just want to listen to today's show, we're on Spotify, iTunes, anywhere you get your podcasts. We're up there as well on our Cisco's Virtual Kitchen podcast channel. So thanks again, Amy.
Amazing. It's such a treat. Thank you.
Excellent. And then we'll do this beautiful outro, as they call it, video. But anyways. Oh, and last, one little plug of Amy's book, cookbook. It's right here, Long Table Cookbook, the Long Table Cookbook, Plant-Based Recipes for Optimum Health by the legendary Chef Amy. And thanks again.
Thank you.
And everyone else, have a great rest of your day.